everybody, happy Saturday to you. Wolverhampton biker here. Just having a little ride out today. Not normally off on a Saturday, but I've got 2 weeks off work on holiday, so the sun's out, so I thought, yeah, I'll just go and have a nice little ride. So we're going to head off towards Bridgenorth today. There's a nice little antiques and retro shop and a coffee shop there, so I'm going to go and check that out. Got the backpack on in case we see any bargains. So, you know, join me for the ride and we'll see how it goes. So it's been a pretty busy week for me really today, to be honest. A lot been going on. Started my mod training on Tuesday, my direct access. So Tuesday I was doing some riding. Started off on a Kawasaki ER5, I think it's called, 500cc. That was my first lesson, and that went pretty well, to be honest. It was quite a good ride, it was quite enjoyable. It's quite a shock though, the difference that you get between a 125 and a 500. The power difference is quite big really. You get a lot more power when you twist the throttle, and the weight of the bike as well. Really funny, because you'd think, having ridden both now my 125 and the 500s and the 600s, you'd think that you'd feel more dangerous on a big bike, and I've got to be honest, I did not find that at all. I actually found the bigger bike more comfortable. I felt with that extra bit of weight in the bike, you felt more planted on the road, and you felt when you were going around corners, especially with the wider tyre as well, you just felt more grounded and more solid on the ground, and I felt a lot more confident on it, more comfortable, which is a good thing. So that was my first lesson on the Tuesday morning, and then on the Tuesday afternoon we went out on the 600. Now that was a, let's have a think now, yes, that was a Yamaha XJ600N, and that was, got to be honest, wasn't so keen on that one. But the bike I had was pretty beaten up really. It was pretty old, pretty tired. The clutch was very hard on it. The gears were very sloppy. Difficult to get it down into first. But we fought it and we tried. And the weather's on Tuesday, and honestly, wasn't great. Absolutely pissed it down. So I was on a 600cc in the rain for the first time, so it was a bit hairy. And we had to deal with some dual carriageway work, so I was getting up to speed on that, so that was a bit hairy. So that was a good experience, a good learning curve in honesty. Very good learning curve. That was all good. So I was on that. And then on Wednesday I had Mod 1 practice. And I've got to be honest, the Mod 1 practice, that was eye-opening. I thought that would be very easy. Thought it'd be a piece of piss to do. Yeah, just go around a few cones. Nothing to it, simple. Not at all. There's so much you got to get right on Mod 1. Anyone that's done a Mod 1 or done any Mod 1 training knows everything has to be so precise. Your controlling and your speed, your clutch, your braking. You can't just go whip, 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 whip and flick it round the cones. You just can't do that, it just doesn't work. So did that. That was interesting, good to do. Glad I did the practice, because I've got to be honest, if I'd have just gone straight into it and done the licence, I'd have failed it, definitely. Would have definitely failed it. But now I know what I've got to do, I can work on it, put more practice in, get better, and hopefully we'll pass it first time. If we don't pass it first time, we'll do it again. You know, that's life. You can't win everything, so you know, you just have to keep going. And so it is. And then on Thursday I had more riding lessons. And in the morning we did the 600 XJ 600N Yamaha again, but this time I had the red bike, which I think was an S-Reg. The other one was a P-Reg, so the S-Reg was better, to be honest. It felt a lot better. The clutch was better on it, throttle response was better on it, the brakes were better, gears were better. So we rode that on Thursday morning. That was nice ride out. But as I've said in previous videos, both occasions where I've been doing direct access, the guys I've been doing it with hadn't ridden it before. They'd done a CBT with no prior motorbike experience, gone straight onto the direct access. And you know, in all fairness to them, it's not their fault. They weren't comfortable, everything was a bit new, so they didn't have the same comfort that I had, because what I'd done is I'd gone straight from the CBT and bought a 125 Honda cbf125. I've been riding that round, and to be honest, the experience it's given me has been invaluable. Really, it's taught me so much. It's so been worth doing. I've learnt a lot on this bike. The controls are there, everything's there, so going onto a bigger bike's been so much easier. I've just got on it and ridden, really. I haven't fucked about and not to start again and learn everything, so it's been so much easier. So the transition's been a lot smoother, so it's been really nice to do that. It's made things a lot easier. So we had a lesson on Thursday morning, that was good. What else? Yeah, and then lesson on the Thursday afternoon. Just tidied up a few points I was doing. The instructor was mentioning that I was too close to cars in front, which is, you know, I agree with him, to be honest. I do that. It's a bad habit of mine. It comes from my driving as well, because I've been driving for 10 years, and you tend to, when you're driving, you don't want to leave a gap, because you know how the motorists treat you. If they see a gap in front of you, they'll take it and they'll squeeze in. So you do tend to ride up people's arses on habit. So I've got to get out of that mindset when I do my test. So I've got to bear that in mind. But that shouldn't be a problem. And what was the other point he gave me? Yeah, my observations. Yeah, I've got to do more observations, more mirror checks. So yeah, I agree with him on that as well, to be honest. So we'll work on it. But what I'm going to be doing anyway is I'm going to be riding my cbf125. I'm going to be getting out there, I'm going to be doing my observations, I'm going to be checking around, just to get into the habit of doing my mirrors, doing my blind spots, doing my lifesavers, just so that when I'm doing my test, it's automatically there. I haven't got to think about it, I'm doing it as it is. So that's what I'm going to be doing, just keeping on that and making sure I'm following that. Good afternoon. So it's been a pretty busy week, and then Friday I had my theory test. And I've got to be honest, I failed my theory test. Really disappointed, really. I'd got 41 marks on the multiple choice, so I was 2 marks below the threshold for pass rate. And my hazard perception, I just passed that with a couple of points in, to be honest. Wasn't a higher score as I thought. I was quite surprised, and it said on my report card that 3 of the clips I hadn't scored at all, which I was quite shocked, really, because I was clicking, I'd see cars pulling out and stuff, and I'd click it. So I was quite surprised I didn't score, but satisfied that it was a pass rate on that, so that wasn't so bad. So at least I know next time when I go to do it, I know where I'm going and know what I've got to do, so that's not a problem. But went back home, I was pretty annoyed, really angry, to be honest, and my first impression was, fuck this, sell the bike, forget it, get over it, why bother? And then I calmed down a little bit, relaxed, gave it some thought, and the little voice in my head was saying, no, it's something you want to do, you love it, you love bikes, you really want that Yamaha, so just do it. And I was like, no, I really want that Yamaha. So I booked it again. I've got it next Friday, Friday the 8th, doing a test then, so hopefully this time we'll pass it. And then another little thing on that, what I did find as well was on my test that most of the questions, because I've been using an app on the Android store for practicing my questions, and I've got to be honest, a lot of the questions I saw them and straight away I knew what the answers were, so that made it a little bit easier. But there's a couple of questions where it was motorway related that I hadn't seen before, and I was like, oh, that's caught me out. And in hindsight, what I had done was, sorry, just concentrating then, it's hard to manoeuvre and talk. So yeah, in hindsight, what I had done was I'd used the free app, which hadn't got all the categories included for practicing. So really what I'd been doing was I'd been practicing on about, I'd say, practicing on about 90% of the subjects. And it was those few questions that I must have got wrong. I can't actually tell because it doesn't tell you on the report card, but I must have got those questions wrong because I wasn't sure of the answer. And I think those are the ones that cost me my pass. So what I've done, I've gone home, thought about it, worked it out, and I've bought the app, which has now unlocked all the different categories which I need to do to get through it. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to practice on the categories which I got caught out on, which is motorway, and the other questions which I think I got wrong as well. There were some questions about stopping distances, and these were stopping distances on raining conditions, heavy rain, on the motorway, and I wasn't quite sure, if I'm honest, the answers, and I did guess them, if I'm honest. So that's another thing I've got to tighten up on. So I'm going to be practicing stopping distances, motorways, get tightened up on that, and still go over everything else, motorbike maintenance, injuries, still going about everything on that, documents. Just keep on it, so that when I go in next Friday, I'll look at the answer and I'll be going, yep, I know that, bang, answer it straight away. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'll keep you guys posted, let you know how that goes. Hopefully we'll pass it this time. I hope so, because I really want that bike. The only problem I've got is I've completed my direct access training, but the only part I can't do is the Mod 1 and the Mod 2 exam. Reason being, when I inquired at the test centre, they said at the moment there's quite a lot of bookings. It's quite booked up for a few months, maybe to September. So, which in hindsight, it's a good thing, because it gives me time to get my theory done, get it practiced, get it passed, in case I do fail again and I've got to do it again. You know, shit happens, got to do it. But the other problem I've got is the bike I want, which is the Yamaha MT-07. But I haven't rode it yet, so I can't say I'm going to have it. But it's the one that's standing out for me. Is CMC Canuck. They've got a deal on at the moment where they're doing 0% APR. And the problem is that deal only runs till the end of July. And after the end of July, it's gone. So it's looking likely now that I'm not going to have my full licence before that time. So I would say it's possibly going to be, I'm going to have my licence later on in the year. So it's just the way it is. It's one of them things. But in honesty, I've got the money, so it's not a problem. I can just buy the bike outright, which is what I'm going to do. I'll just do that now. But the main thing is now, it's tightening up on all my things, tightening up on my skills and my technique, getting all that down, get everything right, and get my licence. So next month's now, it's just going to be a case of getting my theory test passed, tightening up on my observations and my riding behaviour, basically. Tighten up on that, and then we'll go from there. So I'll keep you guys posted. But as I say, today it's just a nice little ride out. Go up to Bridgenorth, see what's going on. Had to get around those cars, man, they were going so slow. But this is what happens on weekends, you see. As you go out on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and you get the old biddies, they're absolutely terrified. I think they're terrified, they want to go on a 125 with narrow tyres. Try that. Yeah, so, just heading up more now towards Bridgenorth. Managed to get clear of those slow cars. Just going to have a nice little cruise now. Go up to the vintage shop, go and have a look. See if they've got anything. It's worth a look because it's quite a nice shop. I won't be doing any filming in there though, just out of respect for the shop owners and the privacy. So the video will be stopped when I leave there, and then we'll carry on, we go up towards Bridgenorth. We've got some traffic. Well, we haven't got traffic, we've got someone turning, which has slowed everybody down, as you do. And now we've got the classic HGV in front of us. Can't see around it. So just going to play it safe, stay behind, keep a good clear view of where we're going. Well, you know, I didn't really want to go fast today, I just wanted to chill out on the bike. get out and get some riding, gonna have some fun. So, you know, not too bad, I'm not bothered really. I just like riding it. The other thing I have noticed as well is going on old motorbikes to going on new motorbikes is the old motorbikes, oh, they're so difficult to control. They've got heavy clutches, the gears are very sloppy. Where I've gone on my cbf125, which is only a couple of years old, and the difference is ridiculous. Everything's so precise, the clutch is nice and light, the gears are click in place. You go into first gear and you can't press down press first, it locks, so you know you're in first, which is nice. You get up to fifth, it locks. Throttle's nice and light, the brakes are light, you can brake with one finger. But in all honesty, that might just be down to maintenance, because I do maintain my bike very regularly. Every couple of weeks I'm checking my brake, making sure there's no air bubbles in the front brake and I bleed them. I always do that just to make sure, just to keep it nice. So that could be down to me looking after it. And I changed the oil as well. I've ridden the bike for a year, changed the oil after a year. I just thought I'll do it. I know sometimes you read things and they say after so many miles, but I've done quite a lot of riding on it, been out on it most nights, so I thought, you know, let's give it some new oil, get it nice and fresh. So I did that, and I just generally look after it. I clean the disc brakes with disc brake cleaner, keep that nice. The bike gets brushed every time it's ridden, comes back with a wax cloth and just give it a wipe over just to make sure it's all nice and shiny. I just keep it well looked after, to be honest. Spray a bit of WD-40 on the forks, a bit of WD-40 on the back suspension. You know, you just have to look after things and they'll last you. General rule of thumb. I'm quite hungry, to be honest, guys. I might get some food while I'm out. Feeling a bit nibbly. But the good thing is the sun's out. It's a great day, the weather's nice. A little bit windy, but it's not too bad. It's manageable, to be honest, at this speed, it's fine. There's a couple of garden centres I'm just passing as well, so I'm going to check them out on the way back, because the one's got quite a good pet shop, where they've got a lot of tarantulas, spiders, so I'm going to go and have a look at that.